I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are doing a special Bickering Book Reviews. We are once again in a different location. And we just left a author's talk with Jason Reynolds and Brendan Kiely about All American Boys. Incredible talk. Like, it was just
super powerful. Blow
your mind. And unfortunately, I hate to admit to this, I haven't read the book. Sorry. I broke my leg.
Worth it.
I didn't have time. I bought the book. I had the book signed. I'm going to read the book, and I'm sure just listening to them talk about the book, I'm going to love the book.
I kind of want to reread the book because after listening to them talk, they've kind of pulled out things that were powerful to me the first time through, but now they're like even more so powerful that I'm like, oh, I need to reread.
Don't be surprised if there is a video coming up about us talking about this book. And this book actually won the Coretta Scott King Award and Honor Award, and it was a Walter Dean Myers Award for Outstanding Children's Literature. So there's a lot of stickers on this book. And I just thought that it was, first of all, the book I've read by Jason Reynolds was Ghost, which I think is a Newbery Honors book. Was it a Newbery Honors book? If it wasn't, it should have been. And in the neighborhood where I work, it was like every kid that comes in the library, you can see something. Like these kids in Ghost felt so real. Just the way that he did that. And I did learn from today that both of these writers were teachers, and I think that's why they have such a natural voice.
Well, I think that's why their speaking engagement was so powerful.
Oh, it was incredible.
I think that they really kind of know how to talk to people.
Right. And this book is about, for people who don't know, is about police brutality, and it's seen through the eyes of a young African-American teen and a young Caucasian teen. And they really talk about why they came up with that story and why they had to tell that story, and why that this African-American author and this Caucasian author felt that they could both have a voice in it. And just hearing them talk about the different perspectives of their lives. And when Jason Reynolds was talking about, he was taught from the time he was born, you're representing your whole community. I thought that was such an incredibly powerful thing, because we're not taught that.
Right. Well, no, and it's those specific examples that we're really able to kind of hit home further the things that they bring up in the book.
Right.
That it really kind of gives a new facet to it. And I think the important thing about All American Boys is that there are so many layers to it. And it really talks about the different layers going on in these situations, that it isn't just, one thing or another. There's so much feeding into it.
Right.
All of his, if you haven't read Jason Reynolds before, you need to read him because he is phenomenal. And I haven't read another Brendan Kiely book, but I am going to.
And I feel like I'm lesser of a reader because I'm not as familiar with them as I should be. And
his one book has an African-American male who knits.
I know.
Like, you can't find boys who knit in any books.
And boys do knit.
There's one.
I have seen boys knit. It's something I've seen out there in the world.
And I love when authors add in those unique perspectives, but also kind of speak to people.
Well, and I feel like that's something that they're trying to say in this story, that like they're telling the story of police brutality, which is something that's so on the news, but they're also like, there is a human side. That every story, these characters are human, and these are the things that happen, and that there are different perspectives, and that coming to it from your background brings a different perspective. And I feel like that's what they said during the talk, which made everything very powerful.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I'm so glad that I was able to come. I'm so glad that I read this book. I'm so glad that I read other Jason Reynolds books, and I can't wait to read the rest of them.
So the point of the story is, you got to try to pick up All American Boys, because
it's true.
It will help change the way you look at things.
True story. And start the discussion.
Yep.
So adios.
Bye.